Mm-hmm. Yeah, Formula One, big racing in Europe and Japan as well. Mm-hmm.
Do you know why they don't have a F1 in the States at all?
I'd just like to think it's because we're stupid over here, and we love NASCAR, and we're huge NASCAR fans. F1 it's a more subtle brand of racing, and so is a lot of the motorcycle racing, and we're just too in your face and too stupid. And we just lots of fat guys with flames all over their trucks. Like, do you see these guys going down the street? And there's, like, flames all over the truck, and they have a huge lift kit, and they got big knobby snow tires on it, and there's a sticker on the back window, and it says, member of the Bad Boy Club, and stuff like that. A lot of just stupid doofus dudes wearing $300 NASCAR jackets, and I don't... Yeah, we got too many big doofus dumbasses in this country. We're not into finesse. Here's what we want. We want huge portions. We want, like, We want a tray that we can barely carry back to our table.
Buffet.
Yeah, we want a buffet. We want big in your face, big lift kit, big knobby tires, big engines, lots of American muscle, and basically pro wrestling. Pro wrestling meets Pam Anderson meets the hometown buffet meets a truck with a lift kit on it.
I agree. That does sound awesome.
And F1 is a finesse sport, and we're not into finesse over here. Because we're dumb, by the way. We like stupid music. We like crazy, stupid, loud, in-your-face music. We like in-your-face sports, and that's what we like. We're not a finesse culture, whereas Japan in Europe, they're finesse cultures. Here's their idea. Their idea is, how much horsepower can we get out of this little engine versus we'll just build a huge engine and have tons of horsepower. How much taste and enjoyment can we get out of a little bit of sushi versus just piling waffles up high as a skyscraper? You know what I mean? Or just drowning everything in chili. We're a dumb group here, and we're getting dumber by the day. These people, by the way, the NASCAR folks, or just whoever the dumbest people are in our society, white, black, Chicano, and everything in between, are breeding at an alarming rate. So dumb people are outpacing the smart people, because the smart people, they want to wait to get educated before they start their family. They want to wait until they can, Bald Brian is a very intelligent guy. Teresa is an intelligent gal, and they have no kids between them. Why? Well,
you think what I'm thinking, Teresa?
The morning is young.
No,
you guys are you're intelligent, college-educated, responsible adults who realize, look, you have to get your career path straightened out. You have to get your relationship. You have to get your life affairs straightened out. And then you have a kid, so you don't have to raise a kid in a crappy apartment and turn him into a NASCAR fan who just wants to go load up on chili at the hometown buffet. We are not keeping up with those people. The smart people are not keeping up with those people in this society, and thus we're doomed. We'll never have F1 because once it leaves, it never comes back. It's big in Europe. All the things that are big in Europe are usually finesse-based, and all the things that are big here are in-your-face-based. Sorry, Marco, go ahead.
No, just, you should come out. You can check out the F1. You can check out the bullet train. You can have some beer. You can enjoy some finesse.
The bullet train. Oh, man, we're just putting the finishing touches on all our bullet trains out here. And by the way, is there any excuse for us in this country of ours, in this land of ours, not to have bullet trains?
But the price of gas is so cheap.
I know. And it's not like Europe and Japan came up with these things like, let's see, what day is it? Let's see, the bullet train in Japan and Europe. Let's see, what day is it? Monday? Let's see, is it the 11th? Let's see, they came up with 1962. They've had the bullet train for 45 goddamn years, and we have nothing. We have nothing like it. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but I really, whenever oil, gasoline, tire companies and things like that start coming into the mix, whenever I start thinking about George Bush and big oil and all that kind of stuff, I do start wondering a little bit about the conspiracy theory.
The airlines have a lot to do with it, too.
And how we have we have no bullet trains in this country. It would be awesome to hop on a train and be in Vegas in an hour and 2 minutes or something like that. And it'd be awesome to be on a train and be in San Francisco in an hour and 21 minutes. But nope, we got to go get patted down at the airport. Oh, right. Let's see. Somebody has a question. Wow, I got some F1 racing stuff. It's a lot of car stuff.
I know. I want to talk more about Mother's Day. All this car talk.
Who's on there? You got anybody you want to talk to?
No, they're all car calls.
All right, too late. Darren?
Hey, Adam, how you doing?
What's happening, Darren?
Saw you on Speed Channel the other day. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And saw you playing around in that new Pontiac.
I didn't get a chance to see that, but once in a while I do a test drive show where they just put you in a car and they put you on a racetrack, and you get to go toss it around. It's fun.
Yeah, it looks like it'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah, it is.
Also, I think you got a hell of a deal on that, on your Lemonade 350.
That's a Paul Newman car?
Yeah.
No, that's you're mixing up my two cars. One's a Nissan 300 ZX, and the other's a 350. It's very confusing. There's a Shelby 350. There's a Lamborghini 350. It's very confusing. But
let's get click and clack in here.
Yeah, I did.
It's car talk today.
I did. Sorry.
I bet you it cost that much just to build that car back in '84.
I have no idea, but that doesn't factor in. What really factors in is what its history is. And the thing that's crazy, and then I'll stop talking about cars. Thank you. All these race cars were considered outdated and no good a year or two after the race season because technology moved on and they were passed by. So if you had a Ferrari or a Porsche or whatever from the 60s, from 1965, by 1968, it was worthless. It was no good. It was like an old computer. It's like if somebody said, hey, what about that old Commodore computer you have? And you went, oh, I threw that thing out, or I sold it to my brother-in-law for $50, and then someone said, that thing's worth $1 million.
Brian, do you still have your Commodore 64?
He's using it now.
Yeah. Oh, my God, I'm playing sound effects out of it.
These things were worthless and considered worthless. I'll give you another example for some reason. All day, vintage aircraft were flying over my house. It was some sort of vintage aircraft, whatever, and they kept buzzing by. And P-51 Mustangs were flying over my house. Now, that P-51 Mustang's probably worth $10 million today. Maybe it's $8 million, maybe it's $11 million. I don't know what you could pick up a P-51 Mustang. It's the greatest plane of World War II. It had the Rolls-Royce V-12, and it was a tank buster, and it whatever. We came out late in the war, in World War II. The point is this. We crushed those things after World War II. They were good for nothing anymore. They're outdated material. What could be worse than an outdated weapon? You know what I mean?
Yes.
The jet age was upon us. We got a bunch of P-51 Mustangs. We're just going to tear them apart and sell them for aluminum scrap.
From a military standpoint, it doesn't make sense to even hold on to them because you're taking up space that could be used for newer, better
You're just
weaponry.
mothballing these things. These things now, so what happens? Well, there's 100 of them left after we crush 200,000 of them or whatever it is. Point is those things are worth $10 million a piece now. People at the time have no idea what this stuff is going to be worth to future generations. It just looks like outdated. Like I said, it's the Commodore 64. What's this thing's no good?
That, of course, isn't worth anything. So there's kind of you have to know.
No. What I'm saying is we don't know.
We don't know.
50 years from now, if someone's going to say, look, get rid of the Commodore, I got the Mac.
Right.
Fine.
Keep the Commodore because it might be some sort of cool vintage classic.
And your girlfriend gets on your back because you got too much crap.
Right. The point
For
is,
example.
well, the point is a bone stock Rabbit GTI could outperform most these 60s Ferraris and Lamborghinis.
Let's put it in terms I can understand. Let's say you have a Halston, and suddenly it's out of fashion.
Huh?
And then it's a dress designer. And then 30 years later, this thing, everyone wants to wear it to the Oscars because it's a beautiful vintage piece, and nothing is crafted that way anymore, and none of the other women are going to be wearing it.
Yeah.
It's a stunning. There's a fine line between out of date and vintage.
Yeah. And again, I think the computer thing you can stick with, although this is never going to happen. But your cell phone could outperform the Commodore 64.
Right.
And, like I said, a brand new Mini Cooper could outperform one of these vintage Lamborghinis. That's not the point. It's old, and people want it, and there's only a few of them, and somebody made a mistake of throwing a lot of them out or crushing them.
Now,
nothing's left.
Who had Paul Newman's car?
Paul Newman's car and lives in Connecticut, and it lives with him, Paul Newman, in Connecticut, and Paul Newman raced out of Connecticut, and his team, Bob Sharp Racing, Newman Sharp Racing, was out of Connecticut. The whole thing was out of Connecticut. All right.
So he's personally selling it to you, or his team?
The guy who owns it, Bob Sharp. Yes, not Paul Newman, although I suppose you could get Paul Newman to come do something.
I hope he's feeling
something.
well and perfectly healthy.
I do. Look, it's not, I wish a man's a legend. I hope he goes on forever. But when he does go, I have a car with his name written on the door.
College fund for the kids.
All right.